Okay, cameras rolling. Awesome. How's it going, guys? Back again with the Breaking Grips podcast. Here I am with me dad, this quitter, Daithi from Life Spiral Physical Therapy. What's the story, man?
Always good, brother. Yeah.
Happy days.
Yeah.
How's life?
Yeah, always good. Busy, as per usual.
Yeah, you're just mentioned there your clinic, Life Spiral Physical Therapy.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about where it's based in.
I have a couple of locations. So, my main clinic's in Glasgow. I also work out at Team Wino. So I look after the fighters there, which you well know, and other guys will well know. And then I've got another small clinic down in Animal Barbell Gym in Blanchardstown. So that's where I am kind of doing that job at least 10 years now.
Yeah. You've been there to help me out many times.
I have,
with broken bits and bobs.
I don't know if you deserve me help at the time, but I was there to learn that.
You've definitely got me back on the mats more than once. But
yeah.
Do you do a lot of work with kind of grapplers or MMA fighters?
I do lots of work with lots of different athletes. Yeah, I do work on a lot of fighters. I mean, from all aspects, whether they're jiu-jitsu, wrestling, boxing, Thai boxing, whatever. Anybody that kind of has pain or an injury, I like to grab a hold of them. I find, in a nice way. I find that guys will come to you if they know you've actually been involved in that sport. So I mean, like I boxed very badly when I was a kid at Glasgow boxing club. That's where I started. We used to run from the back at Ballymun all the way down to Glasnevin to get the face punched off me by my cousin who was an all-round champion at the time.
Right, okay.
And then I had to run all the way back. So I'd run about 5 miles for a hide and then run home. So I understand the concepts of boxing, a group from a boxing family. So, and then I did some judo and then jiu-jitsu and all these other things. But I find martial arts guys and fighters, they come to me quite a lot.
Yeah. And like your martial arts journey, it's fairly kind of varied and storied, isn't it? So like you started with the boxing. How young were you when you started at that?
Oh, I probably would have been maybe 9.
Right.
Maybe 10 years old. Yeah. It was the thing to get us off the streets of Ballymun, keep us out of trouble.
Yeah.
So it was me and the 2 older brothers. I was a little blonde-haired boy. No, it's all gone since then. So the uncle, he lived in Glasnevin. Amazing coach. He's in his 70s now. So he's just like, get the kids off the street, bring them down. So we started boxing there, and then after that I did some judo. Yeah, I've done it all really, Not to any high level. It was always
but you've always had a toe in the pool.
A toe in the pool, or an elbow or a fist.
Yeah. You finally got your purple belt in jiu-jitsu recently.
It was thrown at me.
Yeah. How long do you have a blue belt? You're a blue belt longer than I'm training.
Since 1827. Andy kind of threw the belt at me, and I know, I'm delighted.
Should be a black belt now at this stage, I'd say.
Somebody said that to me, but I'm brutal.
There's a lot of brutal black belts out there.
No, I'm brutal, but I just try and survive, So I just want to enjoy my training. I'm lucky to be in the club that we're in, at the guys that we have around us, so it's great. The BJJ community on a whole is really good, So I have a couple of other black belts, but kickboxing, Japanese jiu-jitsu, did Kempo karate for years.
Right.
All of these other kind of stuff. So I really love the BJJ.
And on and off, you've been doing the jiu-jitsu, kind of been on and off with injuries and whatnot over the last few years. But roughly, how long is that you're doing jiu-jitsu?
Well, I started with Japanese jiu-jitsu, so I would. How long was I doing Japanese? I would have been 8-9 years doing Japanese jiu-jitsu before I took the transition to Brazilian. And I was kind of just using the grappling now at Japanese jiu-jitsu, which is kind of only 10% of the system. And I was putting that into the stuff that we were teaching. And then I started a clinic in Ray Butcher's place in Balance Jiu-Jitsu. Ray Butcher, and I started doing BJJ with him. And then I just got kind of my mind open to the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which is class. And then I became really good friends with Andy. I had my own martial arts academy, Universal MMA, Universal Warrior MMA, and Andy came down, taught some seminars, and I got involved with Andy, and he was like, get in here. So he beats me up like you do, and Gallon does on a regular basis, which is great. Yeah, I go to my friends and he strangled the life out of me and I go home. So
yeah, we're kind of all in that.
Yeah, but I'm old. It's not fair.
I'm just turned 42, so it's like it's not easy. And sorry, Gracie Jiu-Jitsu was trying to get into the podcast as well.
You go,
I'll say hello to the camera. For anyone who's listening on audio, I've got my little puppy sitting on my lap here. I think she's more interested in the jellies, really.
She's the jellies.
And the beer, but She's loving it. She's loving it. Yeah, so there's obviously been a massive growth then, hasn't there, in the last few years, and even just since the whole McGregor thing kicked off, huge since then.
Yeah,
it's just exploded.
It's amazing to see. Like I remember being a kid and doing well, the only kind of really martial artist kind of thing back in the day was boxing. Every kid was either doing soccer, GAA, or boxing.
Yeah.
And then judo came in. Judo was huge. Every kid I know was doing judo. And I see Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is at that height now.
Yeah.
Kids are doing it, adults are doing it, old people like me are doing it. Females, males, it's great. And it's just growing and growing and growing, so hopefully it'll keep that.
Yeah, because even like in our club, there's a lot of guys who are like in 40, but there's a lot of guys who are just at like my age and up. So the majority of the club, or half of the club, are kind of in that age bracket, and we've got a lot of guys there who come from a judo background, don't we?
We have, and you can tell as soon as they put their hands on you, you know, I can't break this guy's grips, and his balance is great, his base is great, his top game is phenomenal. Yeah, but it's great because that means we learn off them. Like the judo that I learned when I was a kid, I was only a young kid, I only did a few years, but it stuck with me.
Yeah.
And when somebody likes big power, he puts his hands on you when they go to spar, you know. Oh shit, this could go one way or another. You know? Yeah, but there's no bully boys. Everybody's learning, you know, which is great. But the judo is just phenomenal, just absolutely phenomenal. But then I look at judo comes from jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
You know,
initially,
initially, Japanese jiu-jitsu was the samurai art and all that kind of stuff. Like the striking martial arts, Japanese martial arts come from the Aikido. You know, all these things come from jiu-jitsu. So it's just kind of gone back in the full circle in my mind. You know? Which is great, and I love it.
Yeah.
Who else would want to go and get beat up by their friends?
It's gas, yeah. And you notice, like in current like sport jiu-jitsu, it's very rare you'll actually see someone with really good stand-up, really good jiu-jitsu, or even really good wrestling that transfers across to you know, competing in the gi and stuff. Because there's so much kind of guard pulling, the guys playing out various different guards and stuff. It's almost a novelty to see someone who can execute a really nice throw or trip or something like that. You know, it's so if you do have it.
Oh, you use it, but I mean that's in my mind that's jiu-jitsu. If you can use it on the street to protect yourself. Like who's gonna pull guard in a street fight? You know, you do that on a stand on you. You know, and that's the reality of it. Like I mean, so.
Single leg X card doesn't work inside of the bar.
Yeah, I'm gonna open your head with the post.
You know.
So I look at jiu-jitsu and I admire all these young guys who are so dynamic in their movement, and I'm like, wow, I wish I had the hips to do all of that, and it's great. But I also like to look at, in my mind, where jiu-jitsu should be, where it comes from and where it should be. In my mind, we all have our own kind of way of thinking where it should be, but we should have our standard. We also should have our self-defense part of it. But that's only my opinion. I think it's very important for anybody on the street. We need to compete and we need to learn the sport, but we also need to learn our stand-up and we need to learn our self-defense. We need to have that whole package. For me, that's what jiu-jitsu is, the whole thing. You know? And as you said, I love seeing guys in competition. And you just know, as soon as they pull grips, man, their opponent is going up and onto their head. It's phenomenal. Phenomenal. And you don't want to be fighting them guys, because they're going to kill you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I'd gladly have somebody pulling guard me all day. Oh, pull guard, that's okay. I don't mind.
Yeah, you can work there.
I don't want to be dropped on my head. Dropped on my head, and then I'm going to break something. So,
Would you see more injuries from guys in MMA than you would from jiu-jitsu? Would it be much tougher sport on the body, or?
Here's the thing: jiu-jitsu is the gentle art.
Yeah.
It's not gentle at all. I think on a whole, I would see more injuries from jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And even myself, my whole body, 90% of my injuries are jiu-jitsu based. You know? And like, I also seen a progression as knowledge has been gained through the jiu-jitsu community in this country of what the injuries have been. Like, it started off elbows, because everybody's getting armbarred.
Yeah.
You know, we got armbars and everybody's getting rubbed, so there's medial or lateral kind of
repetitive strain in the elbow and stuff.
Yeah, even guys when they're drilling, they're still yanking on the arm. You don't need to do that. 3 or 4 yanks on that arm, you're going to get tendonitis. But when they're fighting competition or sparring, I'm not going to tap them. All that people could do was an armbar. So everybody was getting their arm smashed and would come to me and it was fixing it. Great for me because I learned that, you know what I mean? Not great for them. But then as things moved on, like, I mean, what's the biggest one now? Knees.
Yeah.
Now it's knees, yeah. There's people, like the foot game and the knee game.
Okay.
It's really big now, you know. I mean, when I did Japanese Jiu-Jitsu, we learnt that stuff. Not as technical as it is the Brazilian stuff, but it was a practice.
You had an understanding of
100%. Now, it's so big.
Yeah, I mean, with the introduction of heel hooks and shit like that.
Unbelievable. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure.
Go back to Dean Lister and why would you negate 50%? Of Jiu-Jitsu, like, why would you do it?
Yeah, John Danaher has made that a common term to be used, but it was Lister that said originally, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Lister, and he got it from Lister, and he always says, Dean Lister said this, and I think it's fun, and I've always thought that way too. But as people have now progressed to do more leg locks and foot locks, I'm seeing guys coming in and their knees are just destroyed, ankles are just destroyed. But then it'll change to something else. I mean, when everybody's doing guillotines, MMA guys, big for guillotines.
Yeah.
So that's when you get a lot of dodgy nicks.
Yeah.
You know, with the jiu-jitsu guys, it's more kind of elbows, knees, ankles, especially if Reza gets a hold.
Yeah, Jesus, yeah.
Oh, keep the cage.
He's got very sharp on the old feet as well, isn't he?
They're not too bad themselves.
Yeah, well, nothing in comparison to those guys, but Redder's like he's like a library of leg lock techniques.
He's sharp.
In any position he gets it, he has a list of kind of 10 different leg locks he can hit from there. So
100%, and what a fantastic martial artist. Amazing. Great to watch him train, great to train him, great to learn off him. And I love that, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, the progression, just get back to what we were saying, the progression of injuries would be kind of elbows, knees, ankles, MMA guys. They'll do that. They'll do their knuckles, even through the gloves.
Yeah.
They'll do their knuckles, but mostly necks. Shoulders as well was a big thing for a while.
Yeah.
You know yourself. You know. But
once the shoulders go, they're very hard to maintain them.
Once one goes, the other one's going to go. Unless you rehab it correctly. And that's the thing that we need to do, is kind of make sure that people have the knowledge to rehab it correctly.
Yeah, big time. Yeah.
Otherwise your career's over.
Yeah, we were talking about it beforehand as well, and you've got like people who are training like they're looking at their strength and conditioning, like they're training to compete in martial arts, whether it's MMA and jiu-jitsu. They're going into the weight room and they're sort of training like bodybuilding style training and things like that. Whereas it's not really got a strength and conditioning consideration for the actual sport you're competing in. You're just training to build muscle, training to get strong, as opposed to training to offset some of the stuff that your sport does. There's a big difference between the two, isn't there?
Huge difference, bro, I think. I mean, again, I think it's a lot of it is bro knowledge in the gym. Where, okay, you're going to do chest and arms.
Yeah.
And then a week later you're going to do chest and arms. Because it's aesthetics. You don't want aesthetics, you want to be functional in your sport. No matter what that is, if it's any kind of martial art or if it's any kind of field sport or swimming or whatever, you want to do something that's going to complement your movement patterns to make you the best that you can be in your sport. And a lot of guys that aren't doing that, and I think that's where they fail. You know, the guys that have that knowledge to do that, they're just excelling at it. And we're seeing it to the guys down the country, Kieran Dabber.
Yeah.
Fantastic martial artist, lovely man too.
Yeah.
And he's just all of a sudden, boom, he's excelling. But the knowledge he has about his own body and about his training is phenomenal. So we like to see that.
Yeah.
But again, I'll go back to Reza, strength and conditioning coach.
Yeah.
He's gone back to college, pardon me. And I look at how he trains and how he rehabs. It's great to see. We need more of that, you know.
Absolutely, yeah.
And you need fundamental movements. People don't do that. You know. Like, what's big biceps ever going to do for you in a street fight, or in a cage, or on a mat, or in a ring?
All show no.
It's ridiculous. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then these same guys, they won't train legs either.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Skinny jeans.
But you do see a lot of that as well, and like some of the other things I would notice from like grapplers and stuff would be weakness in that posterior chain, because we're constantly in this forward flex position when we're on our butt on the mat and we're on top. We always have our knees flexed. Tight hip flexors can probably have that shit like that's probably very common.
Massive problem. Yeah, massive problem. I mean, the psoas, the iliacus, the glutes, you know, even the erectors. People's posture, you know yourself, you're playing off your back all the time. As you just said, we're like this. Even guys who are standing, MMA or any striking, they're like this.
Everything is low.
Everything is in, forward, and it's tight across the chest, tight across the hips. But we also need to be able to open up the body, thoracic extension, work on that posterior chain, and give us some base strength and mobility. You know, so we have to look at all of them things. Again, I mean, I think it's probably finding the right balance for your sport. And if you don't know, find somebody who knows and ask them questions.
Yeah, big time.
Everybody's there to help each other out.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's finding the important thing is I'm finding as you progress into like, you know, just from being like in the prime of your kind of physical shape, and then you're kind of progressing to being kind of where I am now, where your body just can't do as much, it can't handle as much volume, where you can't just kind of push a hard pace all the time.
Yeah,
you have to sort of find that right balance.
Yeah.
It's corrective work, corrective exercise becomes a lot more important as well.
Completely agree.
Hitting the heavy stuff all the time, you know.
I completely agree. And I mean, I also have this thing. Correctives are very important. We need to sort out the movement patterns, the functional movement patterns for whatever sport you're doing. But there's also a thing that I like to look at as well is, I mean, if guys are in the gym 4, 6, 7 times a week, right?
Yeah.
And they're going 100%, man, they're going to burn it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Just, you can't do it. It's about volume.
Yeah.
It's all about volume in your training. Whether you're going to hit the weights or whether you're going to do spars or whether you're going to run the miles, it's about volume. It's not about bursting your nuts, just, I need to get this done. Because your body will break down. And as we get older, your recovery time is just atrocious.
Yeah, yeah.
And then if you come up against younger guys in any opens, I mean, they're leagues ahead of you. Testosterone levels are naturally, they're up here, they're recovering quicker, they're just stronger. We're on the downhill slope. But we have that. That's
yeah.
I don't have that. Too many punches in the head. But it's important to look at them aspects. I mean, posterior chain is phenomenal to look at, and people don't do it.
Yeah,
people don't do it. Or else, if they look at it, they're not looking at it in its entirety. You know, oh, I'm going to do some pull-ups and I'll do my hamstrings. Really? Is that it? You know, let's look at the whole posterior chain. Yeah. What keeps you in this position? What keeps you strong? What keeps your shoulders sitting on your ribcage right? What keeps the position of the pelvis right? You know, and then work on mobility from that. That'd be my kind of way of looking at it.
Yeah. Save the high intensity stuff for when you're old is usually my sort of my kind of outlook on it. And then like, I mean, there's days when you can lift heavy and stuff in the gym, but you gotta build towards them and peak at them, and then deload from that as well. Whereas a lot of guys just want to go hard week in, week out, and as I said, when you hit 40, it's kind of not that much of an option, you know.
Brother, it catches up with me, you know, and look, I'm absolutely here looking at you. I mean, 2 torn hips, ruptured knee, ankle, elbow twice, torn shoulder, torn broken shoulder. I mean, and 90% of it is from jiu-jitsu. If you go balls to the wall all the time, this is what's going to happen. Yeah. So unless you're in a camp, if you've got the Europeans coming up, or you've got any of the Opens, or there's an MMA fight coming up and you're in a training camp, that's different. Your coach needs to take over and go, right, this is how we're going. We're going to ramp it up, you're going to just hit your peak at the right time, taper off, and then you're ready for your fight. Yeah. But you're in for your day-to-day training, if your body says slow down, slow down. If your body says, we can go hard today, go hard today. You look at all the older guys, all the top guys, and it doesn't matter what martial art they're in, most of them can't spar 1 or 2 times a week. You can't do it. They're lucky to get 1 spar. Yeah. You know, and it's not heavy, because their bodies, their discs are broken in their neck or in their back, shoulders are shot. So if you want longevity in your training, you need to open your mind a little bit. Yeah. Take your foot off the ego pedal for a second and kind of go, okay, what do I want from this? Is there a comp coming up? Yeah, okay. Pick somebody who you trust, or some other teammates and kind of go, we need to make a plan and get what we can done. But balls to the wall all the time doesn't work. Yeah, big time. Like I would find that with people like athletes or training and stuff, you'll have certain each person is different, but you'll have certain personalities that are just, it's very hard to get them to deload and just take a foot off the gas for a little bit and achieve a little bit of balance with their training volume. A lot of guys just want to train hard, and then the week after they want to go that little bit harder again, and they want to just stay on that kind of linear focus, where you can't really do that. You can't go flat out 100% of the time. It's you're not going to stay in the game. You're going to be in and out of the game, and your progress is probably going to be a bit slower overall. Yeah, I think so. I think, and it's self-inflicted. Yeah. You know, it's self-inflicted. I mean, what goes up must come down. Nothing in life is just straight baseline. You know, expect the dips as you take the highs. It's just the way it is. Expect injury. You're going to get injured. It's as simple as that. When you get injured, don't get freaked out about the injury. Yeah. Okay, injury is a part of training. What do I need to do to fix this injury, to get stronger, to get healthier, and get back on the mat? Look, if I can't use this shoulder, should I be off the mat? Depending on the shoulder. Maybe. Or maybe, okay, I'm going to pick a partner and I'm going to drill off the other side. So it can open up my game to get better. But it's an individualistic thing. Yeah. It goes on personality, just as you talked about. But also on the severity of the injury. Do you know what I mean? Some people that come to me who are completely broken. I'm like, I've got to keep you in the gym. You need to be up in the club, you need to be on the mat. Don't train, just go on the mat. Keep their head in the game, because psychologically, if they lose that, the body's not going to get better.
Yeah.
Keep them focused, you know. And it's hard for people not to get on the mat when they're injured, if they're sitting there.
Well, I remember back when I dislocated that elbow, it's 4 years ago.
That was a lovely injury.
It was brutal, yeah. Anyone who hadn't seen it, my arm was hanging off backwards at the elbow, completely dislocated, and the lower half of the arm was hanging back the wrong way, and then it completely swelled up, the whole arm went black, and it kind of...
It looked like it had an arm.
It looked like a fake arm. It was a Carl Rose called it, the lucky professor arm stuck onto my left side.
This is my strong arm.
Yeah, so it was pretty fucked for a while, but I remember coming back, and I was only a blue belt at the time, and like I didn't really have much of the jiu-jitsu game. I was training a lot of MMA, and I remember when I came back, I was able to get back on the mat, but my arm was like 20% as strong as it used to be, and I didn't really have full kind of flexion or extension in it. So I knew I had to be careful when I rolled, who I rolled with, and what I had to do was I had to learn a whole lot of new shit, because I didn't have enough in my game to kind of go to different places during a roll to protect that arm. I had things that I was good at doing, and that was all I had. So I had to go off, and I had to learn a few different guards and stuff that I could use off one side and not really have put too much pressure on that left side of my arm. Big thing I found was, you had the Club Warrior.
That's right.
And I used to come down, and before I was able to even get back rolling, I would come down and teach jiu-jitsu classes.
That's right,
That was really great fun.
That was fantastic.
It got my head back in the game. And then when I went back training, for that first 3 months, it was just all about kind of developing skill and not rolling hard. Not rolling with anyone who was heavier than me, and just practicing things that I was able to do. And that was the first time I'd ever done the type of training. It was the first couple of years of training in jiu-jitsu and MMA, first 3 or 4 years. I had just come down and trained as hard as I could all the time. Which, you know, got me to a certain level, but I found that my game just improved vastly. It improved vastly when I came back.
Exactly. You have to, you've no choice, because your body will only let you do a certain
I got out of that kind of hard rolling 100% at the time mindset, and started studying the game and building the skill set and stuff. And then when I did come back, I mean, I won the Irish Open before that arm was even 50% better, because I just developed a lot more patterns in my game that I could use that I hadn't got before. And then by the time the arm came back, it was probably close to a year later after getting back training, that I actually had something approaching 100% strength. I was at a new level. I was ready to go to purple belt at that stage. Sometimes an injury can be a huge positive. You know?
It depends on what way you want to look at it. Again, it's the psychological aspect of you as an individual, because I remember we worked on that arm quite a lot. And when I worked on that arm with you, it was important for me to have you still in the game, still in that thought process. And it worked out 100%. Some people just say, stay away from the gym, because some of them are just completely fucking hell. You know, you're just going to fuck yourself up more and more. So,
Patter ring comes to mind.
Good man, Patter, He's not happy with breaking one shoulder, and he decides to break the other. You know what I mean? Is that hurting you? No! See the tears of pain running down his face. That makes me happy, because it's Patter.
But you'll get a lot of guys like that. It's probably hard to hold back, do you, when you're coming back from injuries?
I mean, it's a personality thing. Like, going back to Paddy's a great example to use. I mean, he's just got all of his drive in his body, and it's not just for his martial arts, it's his life. That's what he's successful in his work. And you've got to look at that personality and kind of go, what is best for him? Sometimes a complete and utter switch off is the only thing that will allow him to get his body half decent, so we can go back and drill. Other people like yourself, so we're looking at different ends of the spectrum here. Other people like yourself, you're like, okay, what can we do? Stay in the gym. Okay, you can do this drill, you can do that drill. You got to work on your opposite side now. Don't roll with Mongols. They won't mean to hurt you, but they're going to hurt you. You know what I mean? So it's a big learning curve. But it makes everybody better. But I think my whole point of that is things are going to happen. It's going to happen. Accept it. It's not nice, but the quicker you accept it and the quicker you get through it, the quicker you'll be back on the mat. I mean, look at the professional MMA fighters that we have in the club. And then boys are broken. But the guys that are at a certain level are like, when I'm injured, I'm on a rehab. I'm going to keep my head in the game. I'm going back on the mat, and that's that.
They've been through so many fights that they've kind of they've figured out their system to deal with it.
100%. But again, it's an individualistic thing. I mean, what are we dealing with personality-wise? What are we dealing with competitive-wise? Is somebody just in this just to do 1 or 2 nights training a week? Or, you know, what? And we look at the right option for them and just go from there. But being smart is number one. being smart about your body and listening to your body.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And don't be afraid to say, I'm not rolling with you, because, I mean, you just keep breaking people's knees.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I'm only 68, 69 kilos.
So you're huge.
And like, and now that I'm not that young anymore, I'm finding that it's more important for me to just lose or forget about the shame of you'd often get like if you wouldn't like saying to people, oh, I don't want to roll with you because you feel like you're being a bit of a pussy.
Yeah.
But the more times you pick up like proper injuries, the more you just go, well, I don't give a shit about being a pussy. I'm telling this motherfucker straight out. If you're 100 kilos and you're over there just rolling like a gorilla, and I'm carrying a neck injury, I'm just going to say no, and I'm just going to like. If there's no one there for me to roll with, I'll sit out around and I won't feel bad about it at all. I used to feel bad about it, you know?
Yeah, no, you shouldn't feel bad about it. Again, I don't think there's anybody intentionally going to go and hurt you, but some people, as I said, are just balls to the wall, Mongols, and they just...
Yeah.
You tell them, my shoulder's injured, what's the first thing you do? They go with that shoulder.
Yeah.
So I've learned a long time ago.
Definitely have certain personalities.
Yeah. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I'll just wait and I'll roll. I'm kind of lucky because lighter guys like to roll with me, and anybody likes to roll with me because I'm not a bully boy and I'm pretty shit. But I know if I'm rolling with guys who are lighter than me, I'm not going to rip their heads off. I'm not going to try and break their shoulders. I just want to move and I want to learn.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we've had lots of great rolls, and so is a lot of other guys who are lighter than me in the club with me, you know, and it's great. And for me, it's a great thing, you know, so you roll me, don't worry, I won't be Mongo on you. Let's do some technique and take it from there. And then they usually strangle me. So. The essence of jiu-jitsu, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I find that I much prefer rolling with guys like, I'll give you an example. Last night we were doing, the rounds we were doing, I think they were 11-minute rounds total, because it was something like, the clock was on like 3-minute rounds with a minute break in between, and you were doing like 3 minutes starting on the guy's back, and then as soon as the first buzzer goes, he starts on your back until the end of the next round, and then as soon as that one's over, you're rolling. So it was non-stop work for 11 minutes with the same partner, and then a minute break, and then on to the next one. So these are grueling rounds, you know. And I was finding like the selection of guys that were on the mats there last night, there was brown belts, purple belts, and black belts, all close to my size.
Yeah.
And like hard rolls, guys who are going at you and putting you in bad spots. But I would happily do that. Like the last round I did was the best round. It was with Howard Mannion, who's like
savage.
Probably 5 kilos heavier than me or something, and like one of the best black belts in the place.
He's phenomenal.
He'd be the first guy I'd pick out to roll with there, rather than go roll with a 95 kilo blue belt. You know what I mean?
No, because the 95 kilo blue belt is going.
Probably just be a little less technical, and I get hurt as a result.
Howard is super strong, fantastic condition, packing lots of muscle, super tactical, super nice guy, and an amazing black belt.
Yeah.
So you know, if you want to be an arsehole with him, he's going to strangle you.
Yeah.
If you want to learn off him, I bet he'll do
Yeah. Get great rolls. You
absolutely.
Go for submissions. You know he's not gonna murder you and get an ego and put it on you as a result. But he's going to defend and he's going to try to submit you equally. You know, and then you'll have guys like that which are great to roll with. But the guys who there's guys who kind of when they have 30 or 40 kilos on you, they'll start off light enough, and then as soon as you pass their guard and mount them, they start flipping out a little bit, and then you know, then
it's ego and frustration, I think. And it's just like I'm not going to let this happen.
Yeah.
But they're not learning anything.
Yeah,
well, nobody's learning that, you know. And you're supposed to be learning. If you want to go out and just pull the head off each other, go down the street somewhere, car park. That's fine.
I found I put a blog out last week. It was on I put it on the Irish Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu grappling forum, and it was all about making the transition into old man jiu-jitsu, you know.
Yep.
And I was making pointers like that you've got to have like the right training partners and a lot of things like that. And you know, when you go down to the gym, there's going to be days you go down and you feel good, you roll well, and it's all good. And then there'll be other days you go down and you're a little flat. And then like there'll be young guys in there who you usually kind of manhandle, but then there's days they're going to manhandle you, and you cannot let your ego. Like a lot of guys, when that happens to them, they can't really handle it, and they'll step away from the mat, and then they might not come back for a little while. And the more often that happens, the chance of them never coming back at all. Like there's guys who would probably be in the habit of they're training a few years and they're well able to bully all the white belts and blue belts, but as soon as it starts coming back at them, they just can't hack it, and they're not like that separates the true martial artists from the bully boys.
You've got to be humble. You've got to be everybody loses. Everybody taps out. You're not tapping out. You're not learning.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're 100% on the money there, and I agree with it. And we've seen it. I've been in it, you know, in around a few clubs through the physical therapy and the things, and just training as the years gone by. And you know, I've seen it in all kind of aspects of combat sports and martial arts. The bully boys get found out real quick, and then it's just like, I can't handle this, my ego, and then they're gone.
Yeah.
And then they're gone. But it happens.
Plenty of it at every club as well.
Yeah,
you know, you can see a lot of it.
Yeah, but look, it's learning, isn't it? It's all about learning. If they're the ones that are losing out, they don't want to come back and learn.
Yeah, it's not easy sport for the weak-willed, you know, and you'll get so far and then it'll find you out.
Yeah, and you can't have an ego.
Yeah.
You can't have an ego when you have somebody who's 65 kilos strangling you.
Yeah.
You know, I'm 91 kilos. 91
scale over there.
Yeah. I'm 91 kilos without the jellies.
Yeah.
And you have steel too, 65 kilos. Play with you.
Yeah.
Forget about strength.
You
know what? And he will take it easy, but you are going, oh my God, get this fucking man off me.
Yeah.
You know, he's just phenomenal. But for me, that's the essence of jiu-jitsu, because there's a guy with super duper technique, super technical, super nice, can kill you if he wants to, but he's not. He's letting you explore your jiu-jitsu game. He's letting you learn. He's going into bad positions so you can experience what it's like to take a certain position, and then he'll just, if he wants to, he'll just put it on you.
Yeah.
And he does it with a smile on his face. So there's no amount of, I'm the biggest, strongest, toughest guy, is ever going to stop that.
Yeah.
And that man is doing that with a broken neck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's been through the ringer over the years as well.
He has. And a great jiu-jitsu coach, great jiu-jitsu player. Yeah. Good judo player too.
Yes,
you know, and boxed as a young guy, so he's a good all-round game, you know.
Yeah.
His frame of mind is phenomenal.
Yeah.
But again, I remember having a conversation with him, and it was Rodrigo said to him, stop rolling with the big, huge guys. Because it doesn't matter how good you are. If somebody stacks you and you're up on your neck, you're gone, man. You're gone.
Yeah, especially at a weight advantage. Like even last night I was rolling with Paul McIntyre, who's the same size as me.
Yeah.
And he was stacking me. We had a great roll last night, and he was stacking me, and we had a great round, and I had a hold of a leg and I was going for it, and I was like, I'm not getting up in this fucking leg, and I was pulling and dragging. And the round ended, no one got at him. But even this morning I was like, I was just thanking my lucky stars that it wasn't someone else who was doing that.
Yeah, 100%.
Because me traps and me neck were just that little bit tender. They were feeling it from being stacked so much.
Yeah.
And it's great because I know that I can roll with him, and I know that when he stacks me I don't panic.
Yeah.
It's okay, it's like we're the same weight, and I know he's not going to lift me up and spike me.
He's not an asshole.
Because we've been training together since we were white belts. And it's a bit like going back to what I said earlier about choosing the right training partners.
Yeah.
We grab each other's feet and we go at leg locks, but it's not like we're not grabbing each other's feet and trying to rip them off. We can sit there and laugh at each other while we're playing with our feet, trying to who's going to get the foot lock quickest. You know, you're a bit more relaxed than you're.
100%.
Whereas if someone else goes for your feet, sometimes you just want to get the hell out of there. You don't want to start fiddling around with their feet.
I'm screaming tap from the toilet.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You just don't trust some guys to play, unless you know the guy well and you're used to rolling with him. It's nice when you kind of have those partners that you can just you can experiment with things, and you know they're not going to fuck your knee up just because you have a hold.
That means so much, because again you're on that kind of learning curve, which is just phenomenal. Somebody like Paul's a phenomenal player. He's a good guy. He's not a bully boy. He's super technical, and he's your weight, like, you know. And he could like you. He could roll with any weight he wants in there, you know, because he's that good at what he does. But it's all about choosing that partner.
Yeah.
Don't get smashed. I mean, that's steel tool in an accident. That's what you got his neck broke.
Yeah.
You know, and because of my job, I know how easy it is for stuff to go.
Yeah.
And it goes wrong, man, you know, that could end your career.
Yeah.
In everything.
Yeah, some guys have come off some bad injuries there, and they kind of drift away from the game, and you don't really see them again.
No, bro. Like, I mean, it's sad, but it's also a little bit scary where you have that I'm not going to tap mentality, and somebody's swinging out your neck.
Yeah.
You know, you're training. It's training. Like, tap. You're not in a fight for your life. You're not in the UFC, or you're not in Bama or whatever. If you're in there, that's fine. Fight for it. If you're training with your teammates and somebody puts something on your neck, just tap, man.
Well, I was explaining that to guys here the other night, because people were asking me like about the whole Conor McGregor tapping to Khabib thing.
Yeah.
And then, as per usual, you get people going, sure, that show wasn't even on.
Oh,
this is the usual thing you get from people who don't train.
Yeah. All the experts.
So a couple of the guys here the other night were saying, and I said, well, here's what I'll do. I'll show you the difference between a choke and a neck crank. I'm only going to let you feel like a half a second of each. I'm not going to do anything towards you. So just with no hooks, here's the choke with the hand under the neck and gave it the squeeze right enough. And here's the neck crank. So went across and like even just a half second, they were all one by one. They were like, oh, okay, right, fair enough. Now I get it, you know.
I hate this with the ignorant experts.
Yeah.
Who've never been on the mat.
The Krispy Kreme again. We're all out in force on social media on Sunday, weren't they?
Yeah, do you know what? It's phenomenal. Have you ever trained? Have you had somebody trying to break your jaw with one of them? I mean, that will dislocate your jaw.
Oh yeah,
and it'll rip all the muscles in your face.
Yeah. You're not sparring again for a long time.
And you could lose your teeth.
Yeah.
You know, oh well, I wouldn't have from that. Really? Really? Go to your local club and ask one of them to put one of them on you. Yeah. You're tapping like a fucking bitch.
I did it after the Nate Diaz fight, the first one when he got choked asleep.
Yeah.
I had someone who said he shouldn't have tapped.
Yeah.
I said, like, you clearly never trained.
Yeah.
The choke was on, Nate Diaz was on his back, he was a heavier man, he had 2 hooks in, and he was extending his hips in. He said, you wouldn't last 5 seconds.
No, 100%.
And he bet me that he would last 5 seconds.
It's not a good bet to take.
Got everyone to stand around and got him to lie down on his belly and put the 2 hooks in. I think there was about a half a second before he was smacking the floor. Yeah. So it's like people just don't. There's a lot of people they watch fights and they've kind of gotten into it in the last 3 years and that's it. They don't.
The proper 12 experts.
Yeah, they haven't been in the following the game long enough to understand or to have gone and tried it out and. Oh, that feeling of just getting strangled with someone.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating, and you, like people that I know or come into the clinic or friends of mine that were having an idea of training, and they're like, "Oh, that looked painful." I'm like, "Yeah, that's fucking painful," you know. But then it's the armchair experts.
Yeah. What's
he tapping for? Do you know what he's tapping? He's tapping to say, "You beat me.
Yeah.
You have me. I can't get out." Yeah. So you know what? Instead of me going unconscious and probably getting a brain injury, I'm going to do that. Because you beat me and well done. That's what it is.
Yeah.
You know? And you'll tap if you don't. You were in hospital for a while. And then you're not back in the gym training.
And with someone as strong as Khabib, like he's clearly physically stronger than I, as well as being a brilliant wrestler, but he's clearly physically stronger than everyone in that
division.
He's
simian shaped, the shape of his limbs
and looks like he's got that freak strength, you know, when someone grabs a hold of you and you're like, oh shit, what is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you just know by his body shape. One of my best friends is the same, we call him the monkey, because he looks like a simian. But he's the same body shape and he's got that freakish strength. Yeah. And he trains. He's been training. He trains with he's in the UK now, but he's coming back. He trained with John in SBG. Right. But a phenomenal grappler. Yeah. Just he's super technical now because of jiu-jitsu. He started wrestling first. But his strength.
Yeah, it's that Roger Darder strength.
Yeah. That old country boy strength. His tractors up. Yeah. Look again, another gentleman.
Yeah,
he turns around.
Yeah.
Good night.
Yeah, he takes a grip of your tricep and it's like, oh, the arm's going to the socket.
It's like horror team.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, that's one of the guys that trains in the club with us. He's a scary man. He's a copper. You know, we were saying like there's probably a few guys I felt the long arm of that law.
Oh, 100%. I mean, judo black belt, high level judo black belt, and then Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt.
Yeah, he's got his jiu-jitsu black belt, isn't he?
So phenomenal and a great coach. He teaches kids GA and all that kind of stuff. But we're back to that.
Yeah.
His hands are this big.
Yeah.
He had me last week, and I don't know what grip it was, but it was horrible. And I'm like, I want to go home now. Yeah. I'm finished now. I want to go home.
So you could sail you into the pavement now if you broke the law.
Yeah, there's a few stories alright. But again, a lovely man.
Yeah. He's an absolute gent.
You're a lovely man, Porry.
Yeah, don't hurt us. Yeah. We're not saying it. But there's plenty of guys like that on the scene around, you know, and it's just, that's not the type of strength that you can sort of build up either. That's just something that's natural in some ways.
It's your structure. Yeah. It's genetics that's giving you that body shape.
I mean, lifetime of wrestling bears probably helps.
Well, it does, that. I mean, he's a tough guy and he's super technical. His top game looks phenomenal. Yeah. Everybody talks about his pressure. And anybody that understands the game will go, wow. Idiots that don't understand the game, that boo other fighters in the cage, they're the ones who go, all he has to do is stand up. All he has to do is stand up.
Good luck with that one,
Try standing up.
Yeah.
And try not tapping. You're going to get the head strangled off you know. But, come here, he's great at me. Yeah. He's phenomenal.
He's done well for himself.
But we've got our own killers over here that
we do.
Absolutely,
yeah. It's all relative. I mean, but Khabib, that was it the second round? The second round was the round he got 10-8 on all the scorecards. That was ferocious. That was nearly getting stopped.
Yeah, I mean, he just put on a maul.
Yeah.
He knew where he was. He found out, okay, this is where I am. I'm happy enough to work from here.
Yeah.
And you could see in my mind, I could see little change. It was like, oh, I'm going to go.
Yeah.
And he went. And
it was mad seeing him landing that big right hand as well.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked that Conor was kind of caught with that. He did it lovely. Did it old school. I'm going to look down. I'm going to look down low, drop the head, and then I'm going to throw that big hand up.
Yeah.
And he caught him flush in the face, man. That was solid. And people talk about Khabib striking. He doesn't have any striking. Yeah. Well, he does.
When you combine the wrestling, like they were talking about this on Rogan yesterday. JK was on Rogan, and they were saying it's when you combine it, it's different. Like it's, wasn't it? Who was it? Fought. Mark Coleman, was it? Mark Coleman.
Mark Coleman, yeah.
Yeah. And the same thing. Like it's when you drop for that shot. That opens up that strike as well.
100%. That big overhand.
And he knocked. Was it Crow Cop he knocked out?
He knocked him.
Yeah. He dropped and knocked out Crow Cop, which was a huge shock. You know, people don't expect to see that. It would have been a similar shot.
Henderson was the same.
Yeah.
Henderson's the same game.
Yeah.
But I think what stands for the wrestlers is their toughness.
Yes.
And anybody that has wrestled properly, here or anywhere else in the world, will understand that wrestling is probably the toughest martial art in the life. And there's no comparison. If you get guys that come from a wrestling background, man, not only is their top game savage and they're extremely fit and flexible, they can jump, but they're just...
It's without a doubt the most important of the singular martial arts that you need when you go into MMA, isn't it?
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
Just positional wise, when you're sparring or you're fighting for real or whatever, and fitness and toughness. I mean, Like I've come across a lot of tough guys in the gym and on the street, whatever, as you and everybody else has done, but wrestlers, man, they're a different ballgame. You know, you see somebody and their ears are all fucked up.
Yeah,
like,
don't cross them.
I'll be over here having a Fanta in the corner.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Don't cross those motherfuckers.
But again, it's the toughness. It's all about the toughness. Like we had Jay Dunn coaching for me when I had my little club, man.
Beast.
He's a stone cold killer.
Yeah.
Such a soft individual.
Teaching down in Warrior Euro Club as well, and I remember watching him coach, and I went down there one night just watching for an hour, and just unbelievable, like.
Phenomenal, man. Like I'm only a young guy and only got into coaching. I kind of pushed him into coaching a little bit, and I got him into the club. His dad got him down with me, and his dad was like, "You need to get him trained." Got him in the club. Got him a couple of fights down in Galway. It was the MMA league at the time. So we bring a small team down there, just for the day, because they all wanted to fight amateur MMA in the cage. And you can't do that unless we do this. But Jay came down and he mauled everybody. And one fight he didn't even use any wrestling, no wrestling at all. He just shin kicked the legs off this guy and thumped the head off, and he won. But his mind frame was just tough. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna fight. You know.
Just had it.
Yeah, he's a guy who's 110 kilos when he was teaching in my club, and he just stand there and do a backflip.
Yeah, he's very athletic.
But what a great coach, man. Phenomenal coach. He's a great rapport with the young guys as well that come into any club that he's in. They love him. If you're gonna wrestle, you gotta wrestle when you want to wrestle. There's no fucking around. You're not gonna turn up and wrestle. I don't want to see you in the club. Fuck off. That's his attitude. He's great. But that's why he's so good.
Yeah. I think the McGregor thing as well. McGregor's not gonna, like, he could go off and train wrestling straight through for the next 3 years, but he's never going to reach. He's never going to bridge that gap that Khabib has on him over it.
Never.
I mean, I think he can beat Khabib.
Yep, 100%.
He's got to look sharper and more explosive than he did the other night.
Yeah.
Has to control that distance better. Like that, if anyone could beat Khabib, he's the only one that's ever taken a round off.
Yeah, I mean, I watched the fight and I was a little bit taken aback by Conor. He didn't look himself. He didn't look. Yeah, he was flat-footed and he looked wet, dull, sapped. Not his usual self, and it seemed like he was trying to put on the show to get there. I mean, he was getting caught with shots that he shouldn't be getting caught with. He was throwing shots that should have been putting Khabib on his arse, and it wasn't happening, and he's well able to do it.
Okay, power and the snap wasn't in them.
Of course, and we were talking about this earlier on, maybe because he changed his training, and you got to be smart about what do we need to train for that particular opponent.
Yeah.
Was his training plan wrong? Maybe. Because there was no zipping.
Yeah.
There was no spark. There was none of that movement that we've seen before. There was none of them sharp hands that were dropping people.
Yeah.
He just didn't seem to have that spark. But I definitely think he has the skills to beat him, to beat Khabib. I definitely think he does. He just didn't have it that night.
Yeah, that wasn't the best version of Conor showed.
No, 100%. And he knows himself, I'm sure. But again, that's only my humble opinion. He just didn't turn up that night.
Well, it's hard to know without seeing what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But all we can see is what they put out there. And what they put out there was after the first Diaz fight, when he started the fight great and 7 minutes in, he just seemed to hit the wall. What they put out there after that was that he had changed up his training and he kind of got rid of whatever systems he was going. I know guys he was working with and stuff before, and changed up everything. Went to this kind of very triathlon style of cardiovascular training, which is like there's a lot of work we've seen him on rowing machines and bikes and things like that, and doing a lot of stuff like that. And he released his own kind of conditioning program then, it's the Conor McGregor Fast program, whatever. And there's an intro video there on the homepage of that website, and he's kind of explaining, you know, I ripped up everything, I got rid of this, and now I'm doing this, and I found I wanted to bring down my resting heart rate and so on. So doing things like that will help you recover quicker between rounds if you bring down your resting heart rate, and you know, cardiovascular training like that does have its place. Yeah. But I don't know exactly, but it looks to me as if he's kind of gone all that way instead of just a little bit more.
There's no balance there.
Yeah, it looks to me like he's done that. And then John Kavanagh as well, another thing he said on that Joe Rogan podcast the other day was that they had maybe focused on being too defensive over the training camp. Yeah. So that says to me that they were probably working a lot of wrestling positions, defending wrestling positions. So what you've got there is you've got the guts of the training camp possibly looked like a lot of defensive wrestling, so a lot of isometric contractions, and that's time you're not spending on the front foot attacking with strikes and working on explosive stuff. And then you've also got you know, you've got your kind of heavy conditioning work that's predominantly looked like it was done with stuff on the bikes. Looks like it was running in there and stuff as well. But with his conditioning work, you've got all of that is what's known as cyclical work, where the patterns are just repeated patterns, cyclical. So when you run or cycle or swim, they're known as cyclical patterns. But if you swing a golf club or throw a leg kick or throw a punch, they're known as acyclical patterns. So as in they're not like part of a constant pattern. So if I'm running for 20 minutes, that's cyclical, and you know, my legs are just doing the repeated cycle of movements. And a punch or a leg kick is different. Yeah. It's a random movement. It's initiated in that one random movement. And if all of your conditioning work is based around cyclical work, you're not going to get better at acyclical work. You know what I mean? Yeah. You do need a bit of this and a bit of that, but if you do just all of this, you're probably not going to get you're probably going to decrease your ability to do the acyclical stuff. So that's what it looks like to me, and that's what. Again, it's hard to know without looking on the inside. But I know strength coaches that I would really respect and stuff, and I've been looking through their Instagram stories and their blogs and stuff recently, and a lot of them are just saying the same thing. He needs to get off that fucking bike. Yeah, I would agree. Get back to what brought him to the dance. Yeah, I would agree. I mean, again, it seems to have lost that balance. But another thing, and we were talking about that earlier on, there's something that I would say is he doesn't have the same genetics as the Diaz's. He doesn't have it. They're long, lean and athletic. They're built. And their fighting style. Yeah, it's built for that. It lends itself to that type of triathlon type training. His fighting style does not at all. And his body is not built for that. Yeah. He's built for that bomb, that explosive stuff. And what's happening is, he's gone so far the other way that, sure enough at the start he would have felt the benefit of it, and he had a better gas tank probably in the second Diaz fight and whatnot. But if you're doing that training for a year or 2 years or 3 years, if you're leaning heavily towards one side of training, or one type of muscle contraction, or one type of training like that cyclical work, the longer you're doing it, the more it's going to take away from your fast twitch muscle fibers, your ability to turn on and off again in a microsecond. And I think that's take away from that. Yeah, and that's what it looked like to me. That was the first thing I was thinking about when I was watching the fight. Yeah. Because punches that would knock people dead 2 years ago, They didn't happen. Yeah, like I watched the Eddie Alvarez fight. Okay, all the jellies. I watched the Eddie Alvarez fight back only last week, and every combination he threw was ferocious, and the timing and the speed and the explosive power in it was unreal. Because every time Alvarez flinched to even think about throwing a combination.
Boom.
McGregor landed 3 on him,
Yeah, yeah.
and he was on his ass,
Yeah.
and he was popping back up and just hesitating, going, "Oh man, what am I in? What have I got myself into here?"
Yeah.
None of that was present on Saturday.
Yeah, no, I noticed that, and it was a big thing that I was thinking kind of along the same lines of, was there something else going on? I'm sure there is. 'Cause
2 years apart, he probably played a part.
Well, yeah, you can't do that and then go in and try and beat a guy that's wrestles bears.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense. Like,
It's, that's good, you know.
It's a learning thing. But here's the thing about Conor that I find, and I think everybody else would be in agreement that when he loses, he comes back a completely different athlete.
Yes.
I think his best attribute is his brain.
Yeah.
Is his 100% mentality. I'm going to make a change.
Yeah.
And he does that. I think he tried this, it didn't work. Now, I could be wrong, it's only my opinion. And then he's going to come back a different guy. Will he get to fight Khabib again? I don't know.
Well, Khabib's going to be suspended, you would imagine, for at least 6 months. I'm assuming. But
Yeah.
I'm going to guess anywhere between 6 months and a year.
Yeah.
That could be, I think, a good thing for McGregor, because Kavanagh was saying that McGregor is basically banging his door down looking to get a rematch tomorrow. He wants to fight him out. That's just the personality he is.
Of course, yeah.
It might be a good thing for him that he won't be able to get that rematch for a year.
Yeah.
Because they can work towards getting him back to where he was, or getting him back into turning him back into the fight where he was 2 years ago. And if they have a solid year of the right work under their belts, he could be a different guy going into that cage to fight Khabib, who would be coming off a year off.
I could see that happening, yeah.
That could shift the balance completely, and people don't realise that.
No, I agree. It opens up all these other things with the UFC. But on that point is, if Conor was the Conor that we seen 2 years ago, I think he could have beat Khabib.
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Not about his style, his speed, his power. Everything was there. His confidence, the whole shit.
Yeah. Well, I picked him in my fight in my picks last week. I hung my hat in it. I posted it on my Facebook page. Here's what's going to happen. I think Conor's going to make him look bad. I think his timing's going to be too good.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't there.
It wasn't there, and whether that made Khabib's striking look better, or Khabib's striking has just got better, I don't know. Maybe a bit of both. But I mean, we just got to wait and see what happens. But with the UFC in that scenario, if Khabib gets suspended, does he get stripped of his title? If he does, there's a title for grabs. So do McGregor and Ferguson fight?
It's likely, isn't it?
Yeah, and then whoever wins that, I'm sure the UFC will be hoping for Conor because he puts more seats. And then Khabib and Conor too. Also, you know, it gives him more time to get his game.
Highest selling pay-per-view of all time, you know?
Yeah. I mean, he's the money man. Yeah. That's why they wanted that.
And there's people out there that are like, you know, McGregor doesn't deserve the rematch because he was comprehensive.
He's a champ, he deserves a rematch.
He will, mark my fucking words, if they made that rematch tomorrow, give him a week and he would have people queuing up to buy that pay-per-view.
100%.
Yeah.
Love him or hate me, want to watch him.
That's it. That's it.
Love him or hate me.
People will buy it just to watch him get his ass kicked again, or people will buy it to cheer him on, but they will buy it. And no matter what anyone says, oh, it's going to be a hard sell. Is it? Fuck.
No.
It'll still sell more than anyone else on that card.
This is why they all love him, and all the other guys want to fight him.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter from low level or high level, because they know if they fight him, they get big money.
Yeah, big time. Yeah.
His personality is demanding big money, because people either want to see him win or get the shit beat out.
Yeah.
And we've got to see both. You know what I mean?
I'd like to see what he looks like now against someone else. Like I want to see, because let's say Khabib gets 6 months or whatever, I'd like to see Conor fight someone like kind of soon again, like within like maybe 4 or 5 months.
Yeah. I'd like to see the old Conor come back.
Yeah.
Well, added stuff on. I mean, playing too defensive.
Yeah.
I come from this mentality of the old school martial arts, and then I used to do all these other kind of Krav Maga-y styles. Right? If you're just defending, you're doing nothing.
Yeah.
You know, you don't win a fight by stalling and defending. You're taking a beat. The best way of defending is attacking. You know, in my mind, again, my only humble opinion. So if I understand, he's a takedown race, he's going to get on top and he wants to smash the shit out of you. But if you don't have a plan other than defense, I think it's a bad plan. Again, in my humble opinion. So I think things need to change a little bit. And John Cannon is a very intelligent guy. He's a great coach too. I mean, look at what he's done with these fighters, you know. So like, maybe that's on his mind to do that. I don't know, but look, pure defense is. I'd be
the first one there to see it. You know, I mean, I don't like. I can't wrap my head around the fact that people are going, no, I don't want to see that fight again. I'd like to see him fight someone else first. I'd like to see him fight Khabib.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? And see what he can do differently, because if anyone has proved that they can turn a defeat into a victory. Like again, he did it. Like I think the two Diaz fights only 4 months apart, and he just knuckled down and said, "Right, I'm going to come back and I'm going to fight that motherfucker at 170, and I'm going to fight him. I'm going to beat him." And sure,
again, but it's all of that. His Brian said, "This is what we're going to do." The body followed.
Yeah.
You know, people talk about being a sublime athlete and he's this and he's that. His Brian is telling him, "This is what we're going to do."
He has that. Like outside of all the theatrics and all the mad shit that's been going on, jumping cages and throwing dollies and all that. People kind of they let that distract them from the fact that like he's an amazing fighter when he's at his best.
Yeah.
Like he's unbelievable and he's done things in the cage that nearly no one else has done.
No,
you know what I mean?
100%.
And people forget that very easily because of the character or the caricature he's become. You know? They get distracted by all that like those press conferences and those court appearances and all that shit, but they really forget about what he has done to some high level fighters.
Oh, he's just made shit of him.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You know, that was a fluke punch. I was reading somebody's tweet the other day. Don't know what it was. Me reading. I was reading somebody's tweet and they were saying, "Oh yeah, he hit Aldo with a sucker punch."
What? That was a perfect punch.
A sucker punch, man.
He drilled it, walked out of the cage and did it the first shot.
He was doing it, he's wrong. He caught somebody else over here, fighting back here, with it in his amateur day. Same thing, boom.
Yeah, that's right, he did.
You know, so, I mean, the game plan is destroy them mentally.
Yeah.
And then get in there and just make sure you
be cool as a cucumber and do it and pull the job up. I was listening to Paulie Malignaggi this morning, which I know fucking more fool me, but McIntyre texted it to me last night. So I came into work this morning, I stuck it on, and it was like a 30-minute interview with Paulie Malignaggi. I said, right, I'll listen to like the first couple of minutes.
I couldn't do it.
And he's just basically mouthing off about McGregor, you know, he's got no heart, he's got no talent, he's a piece of shit, blah blah blah. What's he ever done in this sport? It's completely overblown. And this is where he lost me. He said that he's never beaten anyone good. Now, and the first thing he said was, "Don't give me that Jose Aldo shit." Jose Aldo was like 150 years old when he beat him. He was way past his prime. Wow, Jose Aldo would fucking kill you right now, son.
Stone cold killer.
Yeah. Did you see his last fight when he knocked Jeremy Stevens on his ass with a body shot? The man's still lying on the ground.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. Yeah, he beat his ancestors with that shot.
Yeah.
You know what
I mean? Like, for sure enough, Max Holloway beat him twice in between, but Max Holloway would fuck most guys.
Max Holloway is on a serious level.
Yeah, that guy's unbelievable. Yeah. Jose Aldo is just a fraction below those guys. He's better than most other fighters on the UFC roster, even still.
He's phenomenal. He's phenomenal. He's a killer. One
of the greats of all time, and he was in his prime then.
Of course he was.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, you're always going to get pieces of shit coming up talking bullshit. Yeah. Why? Because they want to get a line like, look at me, I'm
I think his thing is that he's trying to set up that fight with McGregor, isn't he? He's fishing for it.
Laugh at him.
Yeah.
Laugh at him.
He's an asshole. He's hard to listen to, you know.
I can't do it. He needs to be put in a little bucket.
Yeah, the last thing I want to see now is McGregor going back off and doing another boxing fight either.
No. But you know what? That's probably on the cards because he wants money.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
He can sell it and earn money from it, but...
Of course he will, but no, I don't want to see that. Any MMA fan or martial arts fan does not want to see that either.
Yeah.
Let's go watch glorified sparring match.
Yeah.
In my mind, that's how I felt it was. It was good spectacle. I mean,
it was a novelty at the time, didn't it?
It was, and he made massive money. Fair play to him. I
don't
encourage anybody that, and he's really successful and great. But I don't want to see that shit again.
Yeah.
I wouldn't stay up to watch that.
Yeah, it was. It's been done.
Yeah,
it needs it.
We probably do it again.
Yeah, big time. Yeah. I got questions on Facebook for you.
Oh.
So I'm going to try and root them out here because I posted on the...
It wasn't me.
I posted up on the Irish Grappling forum that we were going to do this and got a few up there. Yeah, Matthew Sheehan.
Oh, Matty. Yeah, Matty's a good guy, yeah.
Asked him some questions about his interest in Celtic symbols and what books he reads on the subject.
Oh.
There you go.
You
got a mean collection of tattoos.
I've got them. Check out the Yoda socks, man.
They're badass.
Strong sock game, but yeah, I'm covered in spoils and stuff. All the tattoos I have in my body are all Irish. I'm into Irish culture and history, and I've always been that way since I've been in primary school. I've just been interested in the culture, so I've been learning since I was a little boy, or as they say up the north, a wee gossip. and I've been just studying it as I went along, and I was involved with a group who bring living history to this country and battle reenactments, and there was a few of us, and we got together and we helped do that. What came off the film Highlander.
Yeah.
So friends of mine knew these Scottish guys, we all got together and we decided to run around in these killing his dog. So kilts with swords beating the shit out of each other. But again, it was just, I was expressing my my love for my culture. So I would go to the Hill of Tara quite a lot, Loch Crew, New Grange, Doubt, I've been in all these tunes. It's just a part of my culture, it's part of my identity, and I'm very proud to be Irish or Gaelic, you know. Like everybody from wherever they should be from. People need to know the culture.
Absolutely, know your heritage.
Yeah, I've loads of books. Don't ask me to read them because I'm dyslexic or I'm lexistic, but I can do colouring in, you know. I'm good at colouring in. But yeah, I mean, anything with symbolism. I mean, the Troy Spiral, or the Triskel as they call it, has a few different meanings. A few, there's one in there, a few others. The life, death, rebirth, mother, father, child. Right. You know, when the Christians came across, it was the Father, Son, the Holy Spirit. So it's got all of these meanings, but I mean, yeah, I just love culture and history. If anybody wants to know anything or wants to go on a trip down the country, let me know, man.
Awesome.
I'll bring some historical places and bore the shit out of them.
Yeah. The near one that I like now is the Hill of Tara. It's one of my favourite spots.
It's a magical place.
I grew up very close to it, and I absolutely love going down there.
Well, I mean, there's the Greeks, the ancient Greeks mentioned Tamar, Tara. They knew of Tara.
Yeah.
Like, we weren't supposed to know back then, but it's like it's in the fables, the ancient Greek fables. Somebody talked about the Hill of Tara. I mean, it's the seat of the High Kings. The Celtic High Kings. Yeah. I mean, I don't like to use the term Celtic because it's a generic term. It's like Europeans. Yeah. You know, we're all different indigenous cultures. But yeah, the Greeks knew about it. You know, so and it was a very, very important place, magical place. The first Quinn or O'Quinn comes from there, Cormac McCart.
Oh, okay.
I won't bore you too much.
No. Feel free, go
ahead. Yeah, and then there's another guy, Niall, the Nine Hostages, which I think he's the grandson of Cormac or Conor of the Battles. But people say 90% of Irish people are descended from Niall with the Nine Hostages. It is useless information. Full of that useless crap. So, if you want to have a glass of whiskey or a pint of
so pretty much everyone's related to you.
Everybody, yeah. I'm your daddy.
Oh man, it's it's a great spot in Tara. Absolutely love going there. It's
one of my favourite places. It's class. Loch Crew, we should check out Loch Crew too.
Yeah, never been there.
It's older. It's older than the Hill of Tara.
There's one we covered earlier. The most frequent BJJ injuries he sees. That's one we put in.
Yeah, and progressively they change as the knowledge changes, or as it's fashionable to do certain techniques. You know, but they're all nasty.
They're all nasty.
They're all nasty.
One exercise tip that people aren't doing in their warm-ups or cool-downs that they should adopt.
Wow, one. I don't know if we could do one. I would say probably two. Yeah. I would do two. So, mobilization of the hips and the thoracic spine. So your upper spine. So if we mobilise the thoracic spine, the shoulder carriage will be better, and then we're able to start looking for all these and defending shoulder up. Yeah. Hip mobility, if we're playing guard all the time or half guard, if we want to be able to get up. I know because I've got 2 torn hips. Yeah. And really, really, really bad. I was actually staying in, sharing a room with you.
Yeah, that's right, at the Euros.
Yeah.
That was a pretty decent one, that injury.
I had 3 torn-ups.
Yeah, it was black balls from his groin, third groin, wasn't it?
They were this big. Looked like something out of
it was fucking brutal, that match.
It was horrible. But I mean, hip mobility and thoracic mobility. So it doesn't matter if you're doing yoga mobility or you're doing stuff specific for BJJ. Yeah. You need to do it. I will knock it on the mat or lift weights without going through a certain routine we have. Yeah. And it's hips, T-spine. And it's as simple as that. Everything will flow off that. Yeah. If the pelvis is not right, the T-spine is not right.
Yeah, you see a lot of that. You think of guys who are sat at the desk like in this position all day, and they'll get up and they'll hit their car, they'll drive to jiu-jitsu, and then they walk onto the mat. They'll shrimp up the mat a couple of times, and then they'll start doing whatever they're doing, and it's like you're just you're compounding whatever issues are in your hips.
I completely agree. I mean, look, there's guys just get on the mat. They don't get the heart rate up. They don't mobilise any of the joints, and they're just saying, I don't even want to do technique, I just want to spar. Yeah. You do that, you don't fuck your body up. That's great. You'll come to my clinic and you'll pay me money for being stupid. Yeah. That's fine. Don't do it. Take your time out, mobilise the body, warm up your structure, and then do your technique, and then you're going to pass guard and then spar. That's fine. But then afterwards, you've got to stretch. Yeah. You know, what stretches do you do? Enough to mobilise the hips, the T-spine, the shoulders, the hamstrings, the quads. Yeah. I mean, my drill takes me 7 to 10 minutes and it's a mixture of yoga and then drills for jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Whether triangle drills or upas or whether there's the get-ups, you know, your technical stand-up, anything like that. But that's what keeps my body tip-top.
Yeah.
And then any guys that I've had, and you've had the pleasure coming into the clinic with me sticking the elbow in your spine.
Yeah.
When we worked on your shoulders, but to get your shoulders right, you know, we have to make sure the thoracic is mobilised and make sure that we have correct carriage of the shoulder joint so we can start rebuilding that structure. I see guys still ballistic stretching, cold.
Yeah.
When you go into the gym, I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's old school, isn't it?
Old school, and you got to be open to learn. I'm constantly learning.
Yeah, same as,
Constantly learning, man. And every day's a school day for me. I'm looking to actively do another course so we get more knowledge.
Yeah.
The more knowledge I have, the better for somebody on the mat, or friends, or clients, or whoever.
Yeah.
We go back to the thing, hips and T-spine. So.
Yeah. Well, I would do like similar, because on the Tuesday and Thursday nights I go rolling, I rock in, probably my work schedule, I'm 15 minutes late, but I don't run onto the mat and just join in the class. Like I'll take 10 minutes at the side of the mat to work on my ankle mobility and knees and my hips, and then some hip rotation, extend the hip flexors, rotation around the thoracic spine, and shoulder mobility, and I have a little routine that takes less than 10 minutes, but I'll do that. Perfect. And then I'll join in, you know, and I'll pick some light rounds.
That's the way. That's the way to do it. And that's
I know if I don't do that, I'm not going to be able to come down the next day. You know what I mean?
This is how people usually learn about their body.
Yeah.
They fucking destroy it.
Yeah.
Right. So they're going to get a massive injury, and then it's like, oh shit, now I need to do this. And we were talking about Pat earlier on. Pat is a very, very good friend of mine. Now when he goes to class, he has his whole routine to make sure his shoulders are.
I saw on Friday and he had bands out and he was doing a lot of prehab work on his shoulders and stuff.
And he's getting his structure right because he's learned. He's got 2 fucked up shoulders now, you know, and he's learned the hard way. Like I learned the hard way before I went to school and learned all the craft that I have. I learned through fucking myself up. I'm gonna break something. Shit, now I can't move. How do we stop that from happening again? So if you have somebody with some knowledge in your gym or your dojo or your school or whatever, ask them to help you out.
Yeah.
Ask them to help you out. I mean, but if the pelvis is not right, nothing's right.
Yeah.
Hip flexors, glutes, man. People just ignore the glutes. Again, seated position.
Yeah.
People at a desk all day, driving cars, driving vans, whatever they do. Their glutes are switching off. They're atrophying, they're short. It's going to pull on their pelvis. It's going to give them back pain. It's going to turn out the thoracic. It's going to drop the shoulders. It's going to give them head tilt.
I'm doing a good bit of that because the 3 guys I'm training now for the Europeans, I've TJ and I've drummer who trains with us, and James Finucane. Right, to go through the first phases of they're in week 2 now of their first kind of strength training program, and what we're focusing on a lot is the first week just everything is a little on the light side. We're not trying to burn them out, but a lot of it is engagement of the upper back muscles. So there's band pull aparts, there's rows with an isometric hold at the top. And
lots
like
of scapular retraction on it.
Exactly, some glute work, some posterior checks, so there's hip thrusts and stuff in there, single leg RDLs, there's stuff like that, and pause bench presses. So we're using a lot of those isometric holds, and we're also using some eccentric stuff. So that's where, for anyone who's not really aware what that is, that's when you're lowering weight. So what we're doing, there's a couple of exercises on the foot. We do an upper body day, we do a lower body day, and we do a full body day. So some of the guys do like 2 days a week, so they'll rotate that as normal. And one of them I think was doing 3 days last week. So he got through all 3 workouts. But on the full body day we do split squat. So they basically choose whichever variation. I've given them a few variations to pick. They do whichever one suits their kind of flexibility. Some guys cannot do the Bulgarian split squat. But the thing that we're using is we're using a 5-second eccentric. That's where we're 5 seconds. And then on the pull-ups, we're using neutral grip, and we're focusing on the 5-second lowering. So even if they don't have the stamina to last more than a couple of reps, I'm going to get them to step up off the bench, get into the position, lock their shoulder blades down, and then keep their ribs down and lower down over 5 seconds. So it's a slower pace, but they're all very aware now of the intensity of the workouts.
You're building them movement patterns, which is so important because, look, again, not only from training in the academy or training in the gym lifting weights, people go through motions. They don't have the firing sequence to have the correct movement pattern to have their body working at its optimum. They're cheating, and this is where they're going to have an imbalance and going to get injured. So anything like that with the Grip
Yeah.
pull-ups. It's phenomenal. They have to learn how to engage the scapula, engage the rhomboids, engage the lats, use the biceps, hold, and come back down again. It's phenomenal. I mean, you touched on, say, like the split squat.
Yeah.
And I see people squatting all over the place, and there's all these mad links there.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to get your ass to grass, and you have to. No, you don't. You don't. You have to look at the shape of your pelvis.
Yeah.
The shape of the ball and socket joint.
Yeah.
Are you injured? Are you not? What's your job? What's this? What's strong? What's weak? Your body will only allow you to get into a certain position. It's as simple as that. That's why some people can say sumo squat, and some people can narrow squat.
Yeah.
Some people prefer high bar squat, some people prefer low bar squat. Same with deadlifting.
Yeah.
It's the same with press. You know, you have to look at the movement patterns, but make sure we're protecting the body. Have your core engaged. I see people deadlifting, they don't brace.
Yeah.
They don't know how to brace. Nobody has told them. They've had no PT to say, this is how you brace. This is how you engage your glutes. This is the position you need to be in. This is where you're driving from. This is the position your shoulder should be in. You know? And it's very important. So for you doing that with the three guys, I know drums is old school, is great.
Yeah.
You're giving them so much knowledge. I'm really interested and excited to see the end result.
Yeah.
And see the difference. And I know it's going to make a massive difference. Because
the guys have been great as well, because they're helping me out, because what we have, we have a little private Facebook group where every couple of days, like I put all the workouts, send them all the workouts, and I've put up video demos of everything.
Yeah.
Send it to them, and this is how I want it done, and these are the little bits and bobs I want you to focus on when you're doing it. And then what I'm getting them to do is give me feedback as they get through the workouts. And I'm getting them to another thing that I'm really getting them to monitor, which I found very useful, is monitoring week in, week out how much rolling you're doing. So if you keep a track of how many workouts you're doing in the gym, how much rolling you're doing.
And the intensity maybe?
Yeah, exactly, and how you feel.
Yeah.
And you don't check your rest and heart rate, if you notice. And basically week by week, what we do is we pick up when they feel a bit fucked, when they feel a bit burned out, when they feel flat, and then we kind of pinpoint where that's coming from.
Sure.
And we're kind of want to keep them just a little bit below that and able to train all 4 weeks in that month. And then when we move on to phase 2 of the program, we're going to have a little deload before we move on to phase 2. We'll go into more athletic movements. There could be a few more explosive movements and stuff over the next couple of months. But at this first phase, it's all built on that strength foundation, you know. And fair play to the guys. I'm actually amazed at the workload some of them get through, because the likes of like TJ and James, now when we get the ages wrong here, I'm going to say 45 and 43.
I hope you're wrong when giving out to you.
Probably am wrong. I probably can get the names wrong. But I get people's names wrong in this podcast.
I don't know who you were, but
it's I'm getting them to send me back like their weekly schedule, and they are fucking workhorses. TJ in particular sent me his workload that he did all week, you know. So I did an hour of drilling, an hour of rolling, an hour of strength and conditioning that night. Next day, 2 hours of jets. Next day, the strength and conditioning in the morning, 2 hours of jets. And this is like 6 days like this. I'm like, dude, I'm here no wonder you're ordering on the mat. Like, the guy just has it, you know.
But that is so beneficial, though.
You know?
Yeah, you've got to look after the body too. But that information will be so beneficial to anybody else.
Yeah, because what I'm trying to get him doing is I'm trying to get him training in the gym, take the intensity out of it, and work more on technical stuff.
Sure.
That's my objective here. Is fair play to him. He's listening and he's doing it, you know. Because if he can do that, he'll get away with that amount of volume. If he just has the intensity a little bit lower. And he can go hard on the mat and he can recover from it, as long as he's not going into the gym and just banging out shit as heavy as he can, left, right, and centre, because it's just not going to.
Again, we talked about this earlier on. It's about you cannot train 100% of the time, all the time. You're just going to fuck your whole body.
Yeah, especially at masters level. It's we're just not built for it anymore.
No, can't do it. Well, I'm a little bit older than you, so you know, I'm not built for lying down, linking. I get tired doing that.
Yeah, tired myself. But it's the workload of training. Just it is ferocious on the body, you know. And you gotta be sensible with it. You know?
Well, you gotta look after yourself. And again, I mean, I keep going back to balance. It's balance in everything. It's just like night and day. It's balance. That's I get all of this from the old Irish culture. You know, awakening, asleep. Being hungry and then being full, you know, being happy and being sad. It's all balance. So you need balance in your body. Balance in your structure, front to back, top to bottom, inside outside. You know. And
you got to track it, because if you track it, you can monitor it, and you can
100%.
You can kind of pinpoint what's working and what's not. You know.
So I mean, as I said, I'm interested just to see the end results of this, and also to see what implementation you have with rehab for themselves. Are they foam rolling? Are they getting any mobilization in? Are you getting a rub down? Rub down is phenomenal. Are you jumping in the sauna?
Yeah.
You know, steam room.
Well, one thing I've done with each of the workouts is I've sent them a list, like a video instruction for a list of mobility exercises that I want done before each individual workout. So like the days when they're doing the rubber body stuff, huge thing is the thoracic spine mobility and opening up the anterior side of the shoulders and stuff. There's a lot of stuff like that.
I would love to come down and watch one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, actually, if any of you guys are on YouTube, well, everyone's on YouTube, but if you're following my YouTube channel, I did post a link for it in the Irish Grappling page or group the other week, about 2-3 weeks ago. Find it and click on it. So if you just look up my name, Paul Brown, on YouTube, you'll find me. Big ugly jiu-jitsu picture probably as me profile. But what I did was any of the videos I've sent to the guys, they're on my YouTube channel anyway. So there's like demos of some of the exercises that we're talking about if you're unsure about what some of them are and so on. Like 3 different variations of a split squat and that kind of stuff, and how to do those eccentric pull-ups and so on. But that's what I'm going to be doing anyway, because I'm kind of sending them the programs just without giving away those programs. All the tutorials and stuff, I just upload them.
Oh yeah, no, that's great.
I can have them again for people.
Of course, man. And again, it's all about knowledge, isn't it? Knowledge is key. Help as many people as you possibly can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Make them better. Because if they're better, then you have to be better to beat them. You know? So it's that kind of, we're always at each other to get better. I just want to survive. I go to training to survive. That's it.
Yeah, well, like, was it? Yeah, again, it was another thing that John Kavanagh said on the Rogan podcast yesterday. I think it was him who was saying it. He was talking about, who was it? He was talking about wrestling, but he was saying that wrestling competitions compared to jiu-jitsu competitions, it's very different. Like, they will actually go down and warm up with each other. You know what I mean? Yeah. They'll all just warm up.
Yeah.
Whereas they don't, the jiu-jitsu guys are very guard. I don't want to help this guy out. I don't want to, I don't want this guy to see what I'm going to do. So there'd be a bit more standoffish. And same, obviously in MMA it's like that as well, because you're going to knock each other's brains out. But the wrestling mentality is just everyone just kind of groups in and works together. So I found that mad that they all warm up together.
Yeah, I mean, I talked to James about that. James Dunn. I talked to him about that before when he was coaching in my club, and he was just saying, everybody, and they all help each other out, and then they go on the mat, kill each other, come off the mat, shake hands and hug, and then they get on with it. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. But it is a kind of weird scenario, especially, I mean, again, from a traditional martial arts background, like myself, your opponent's over there. Not showing me, man, not having an I want to boot the face off him.
Yeah, I always find that funny when you're at a jiu-jitsu tournament and there's guys that are like eyeballing people and they're just like in the warm-up area. You'll see that the Europeans are everyone's tense as shit. And people are just like watching each other. Is he in my bracket? Stevie Carr is great for that,
He's brilliant.
Flipping out going, who gives a box?
He's breaking wrists all over.
You're going to bait them anyway.
He's a killer.
But you find that all the time because the Euros warm-up area is mad. We'd be getting there rolling and stuff and having the crack like, but you'll see guys just like sweating balls and just looking tense and really staring each other down. But like my division when I was a purple belt here in Ireland, like there's some really good guys in it. But nearly every time I competed, there was at least one of my teammates in my division, like McIntyre and Paul Nugent. We're all the same size, the same belt, and the same age. So I found that like there'd be guys from Cork and Dublin and stuff in the division, but I'd always end up having to fight one of them, and we'd all warm up together.
That's right. That's right. Well, I think it's a fantastic.
Myself and Nugent upstairs at the Irish Open, warming up for half an hour, like drilling throws, drilling stuff, and then we go down and we have to fight each other in the first match.
Kill each other.
So
I think it's great.
Sometimes,
it's great, and it's all done in the best possible way too.
Yeah, rather than being guarded.
No bullshit, no animosity. Everybody's learning.
Yeah, not wanting to show your opponent your what you're going to be doing or what you may not be doing. It's better to he probably knows most of the stuff I'm going to be trying to do, but he still has to stop it. You know what I mean? Like
does a situation like that make you a better player?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You gotta, that's the way I look at it.
You got to come out with something new,
Yeah.
Like I train every week, and we're very good at defending what the other guy is best at. Like I know his best sweeps, and I know when he's going for them. So he has to come up with something else. You know what I mean? And he knows what my favourite few submissions usually are. So when I get to certain positions, I can't go for my go-to. So like if I get to side control, I've a favourite thing that I go for there. And I just can't go for it with him because he knows. He knows what it is. That's the first thing we're going to look for. So I need to go into other options. So that helps you develop.
I think it does. Yeah. Again, it's back to he knows me shit. I need to do other shit.
Yeah.
It's the same when you're injured, you're going on the mat, I can't use that shit, I've got to do something.
Yeah.
Makes
You've
you
got to
a better
explore
player
the
all
game a
around.
little bit better,
Absolutely. No?
And like even that division, like that purple belt featherweight division over the last few years, I found I was fought down already 8 times when we were blue belts and purple belts.
Great hard matches.
But like, you know, you constantly have to develop your game. You can't just turn up with the same old shit. You've got to.
No, you're gonna get mauled.
Yeah,
you're gonna get mauled because you know that guy's he's gonna progress and grow.
So
you gotta do the
now
same.
I have to turn up. I have to be better the next day. So it does make you train harder. It drives you to put in that bit of that bit more consistency and effort, and also, as I said, develop your game. But a lot of people, the people who don't compete, they just don't.
Yeah.
They don't get that out of their
no, well, that's at a different level. Like, I don't compete anymore because I'm broke up. Although you never know what might happen in the future. But if I go and there's a blue belt and he's a competitive blue belt and he's a young guy, and I'm an older guy and I'm a purple belt, I'm prepared to be mauled by this guy.
Yeah.
Just surely because he is a competitor, and there's different levels. You get guys coming into the gym and it's the hobby, you want to train, you want to hang around with the rest of the people in the school or the academy or whatever. Then there's guys that are stone cold killers, they could be white belts, blue belts, whatever. As soon as they put their hands on you, you know, straight away.
Yeah.
And that's them not trying to be arseholes about it.
Yeah,
that's where their game's at.
In that mindset while they're training, I need to get that next score.
Look, I was only talking to Robbie Brennan in the club there, it must be last week, the week before, and he was only back from Spain.
Yeah.
Portugal.
Yeah.
And he was saying this guy, young guy, kept getting him an armbar or whatever it was.
He was telling me this.
Yeah. And he was like, he was getting fucking freaked out. And Robbie's a high class player. Judo black belt, jiu-jitsu.
3-time European champion.
Of course, yeah. And at the end of it, he only caught your man was a high class competitor.
Yeah.
Was he purple or brown or something?
I think he said to me he was brown, but apparently he had been brown for a long time.
Yeah.
He was only. He was probably 20 years younger than Robbie as well.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you can't compete with that.
Yeah.
It's a different level. And Robbie competes.
Yeah.
But I mean, just to use that as an example, just different levels, man. Just different levels.
Yeah.
Competitors just. And this is why I'd see Andy in the club and he'd be like, "You're not ready. You're ready.
Yeah.
You're ready." He takes them on an individualistic kind of level to. He's going to compete.
Yeah.
So if I give him a grade and he shouldn't get that, but he's going to get mauled. If you're going to compete, you're going to compete right up the top. You need to fucking work hard.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
I like that, he's good.
Yeah, big time. He's always been like that, and yeah, guys, especially after the McGregor kind of thing, the scene exploded and every young guy in Dublin wanted to be an MMA fighter.
Yeah, until he got punched in the head.
Yeah.
And then he didn't want to be Yankee.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah. That's why I don't do any of that shit anymore. I was a fucking horse.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Oh, big time.
Yeah. Fuck that shit, man.
If you have the mush in me time, and it's not nice, But you see a lot of guys wandering in. They just want to be this, that, and the other. They're going to be in the UFC.
Yeah.
They're going to do all sorts of shit, and they're not here now.
No.
You know what I mean?
No. It takes time and dedication, and it takes balls, but it takes you being humble.
Yeah.
You have to learn from scratch, and you're going to get beaten up by youngsters that look like need a slap in the head.
Yeah.
Who's this little piece of shit telling me what to do?
Yeah.
And these little kids just break you up.
Yeah.
You have to be able to take that the same as in the jiu-jitsu we're talking about.
And we all did it when we started. Like I remember rocking up to the club was down in Baldoyle, and me and McIntyre were the two smallest guys in the gym. We were the only white belts most of the times. And we were getting ragdolled for the first couple of years, and then eventually you start kind of picking up a few things to help you survive, and then all of a sudden you're in competitions and you're starting to win medals, and next thing you're at the other end of the scale. And
well, you see, when I was rolling with you guys, I could feel that level of change, and it wasn't just like it's just like, well, they're in compete mode. Holy fucking shit!
Yeah.
The body structure is different. The strength is different.
Yeah. The
mindset is different. The technique is just fucking boom. It's powerful. Yeah. But because you're in that, I'm going to compete. If you want to get really good really quickly, turn to the gym and compete.
Yeah.
That's how you
sign up for the competition.
Yeah, that's it. Because if you don't train hard,
that's the thing. I see a lot of guys will be like, oh, I might do that competition in February. I might do that competition, and they'll be looking way down the line. And their guys maybe trained in and out of training, and they're not that consistent. Then they might do it, but then that window between when they said that and when the competition is, their training doesn't change.
No.
Because if you just go, right, I'm going to do that competition, you sign up for it.
Yeah.
It's 3 months away.
Yeah.
then you got to put together a schedule. You got to reverse engineer a training plan. So the week of the tournament, I'm going to kind of relax and chill out a little bit. That week I want to be fucking flying. The week before that I want to be getting close to flying. The week before that I want to be building. And you got to build it, you know.
You got to know your taper up and taper off.
Absolutely,
it's as simple as that. But I mean, yeah, you got to change your training with your needs. You want to get good, compete.
Yeah,
you know,
I think it's not for everyone, but I would definitely recommend people doing it at least once a year.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
just to get that window of hard work.
Try it, man. Yeah, try it. Like people who have never competed, try it.
Yeah. Try
it. If you hate it, don't do it again. Just enjoy your training.
Yeah.
You might love it, and you might end up strangling everybody on the mat. You know what I mean? Try it once. That's the only way to find out if you like it or not.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I tried it and got killed.
I got killed on the competition many a time. Absolutely, many a time. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
A lot more than I won, but look at it's nice to win one now and again as well, just make it all worthwhile, you know.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Come here, if I meet you breakfast the next morning, I'm winning.
Yeah, this is it. This is it, yeah.
That's the way my brain works.
Nothing got broken, I'm happy.
Everything's broken, I can't break it again. I can't say that.
Oh, Jesus. We've seen a great post, I don't know if you were looking at Facebook today.
Facebook, what's that?
Facebook. Paddy, Headlock Mix-Up.
Oh yeah.
Paddy Leary. Did you see his Facebook post today?
No.
He put up a beautiful, it's World Mental Health Day, and he put up this beautiful big story about how it's affected him over the last 10 years. And Jesus, yeah, he's a great guy. Paddy's a purple belt in our place. And a lot of people putting up things on Facebook today going, yeah, you know, it's good to talk and so on.
Yeah.
But it's kind of all generic cliches. So Paddy actually put up his whole personal experience of how, you know, out on the outside he looks like he's such a happy guy, and you know, he has a good job. He does have a great family. He has a great family. Like his dad trains with us. His dad's a brown belt. Mick is north of 60. Headlock Mick. I was rolling with him only last week. He's still a fucking monster. His brother is an absolute savage on the mat as well.
Savage,
and Paddy's just such. He's always smiling. He's always happy. But he put up this lovely story today saying, like, but that's what you guys see. But you don't see what's going on or like behind the curtain. You know what I mean? And it's always been like this, and it's probably only always going to be like that.
Yeah.
But you know, it's good to be able to for me to be able to say this, and I like the fact that I'm able to say this, and you should be as well. I know Paddy really well. We've had some good conversations, and he's not only is a good teammate, he's a good person to be around. Oh, he's absolutely great positivity.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's great to be able to see him, to be able to talk about this kind of stuff, because he couldn't for a long time. And I suppose everybody, to a degree, be like that. I'm different. I'm very open about mental health.
Yeah, big time. You're the guy I'd always go to whenever I have something I need to talk to.
I appreciate
I've had days when, Jesus, I was stressed, and I remember one day when we, like a family member who was going through some bad shit, and he was in intensive care, and I was up the wall, and I think I had a fucking flat tire in the car, just flipped me off the edge. And I remember just going, like, everything's just cracking me up here. I was having to drive from here to try to bring my family up and down to the hospital for 4 days straight. And I remember just going, right, fuck everything. I'm going to take the next few hours off, and I called over to see you.
That's right.
And I remember just walking out of there after drinking a whiskey.
Yeah.
In the shop at your
in Blanche.
A whiskey and a beer in Blanche. And a chat for like not even an hour. And I walked out like the world was actually lifted off my shoulders, you know.
Conversation is a wonderful tool. Man.
Yeah, and it's amazing. And I think as a younger guy, I would have never done that.
Yeah.
Never. Like I think my sister died when I was 20, and I'm 40 now.
Yeah.
And I think that negatively affected me and my development as an adult for at least 14, 15 years.
Of course.
At least.
Of course.
And it's only kind of now that I'm coming, like the last few years, I'm out the outside of it. But there's no way, like 20, even 10 years ago, that I would have done that. I would have called you and just dropped everything and gone and just had a chat and had a beer and got shit out of my chest.
Yeah.
I felt enlightened after. There's no way I would have done it. And it's amazing now that in today's culture you can.
Yeah.
Because people are more like you are, just open about it, and and you know, when insisting people talk to you about it rather than you know showing I have to go. You know,
of course.
That way, you start talking about all this mad shit. To make me excuses and leave. There's none of that now. You know, and it's great to see Paddy doing that.
It's wonderful. It's a very brave thing. I mean, male, female, young, old, it doesn't make any difference. I mean, I just recently lost a younger cousin.
That's right. Yeah.
He took his own life because he was struggling, and it was a weird scenario. I've lost an awful lot of people through my journey in life, through all aspects of
that's the downside. Us growing older, it's just those things happen more often, don't they?
I would say through suicide, I probably lost 5 or 6 people.
Yeah.
And it's horrific.
In this country in particular, it's really...
It's rampant. It's just it's disgusting.
Men.
You know, mostly men. Yeah. I know you hear this phrase, but it is good to talk, and you're never on your own. Like, I have a personality disorder, and I'm bipolar, and I have a plethora of other different things, but I'm open about it.
Yeah.
So when I'm in my clinic and people start talking, just my whole energy, and I talk openly about how I feel about things and the stuff I've been through, people just open up.
Yeah.
You know, and it's wonderful. If I can get through to one person to give them that little bit of light that keeps them away from the dark side for a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, my job is done.
Yeah.
I know what it's like to be at the dark end and want to end it all. I've been there a few times. It's not nice.
The world's hitting on you.
Yeah, it's not nice, and people will have their own opinions of people who have taken their own lives. You don't know because you haven't been there.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
You don't know because you haven't been there. You know?
Yeah.
And it's.
They're lucky, those people, that they haven't.
Of course,
been there, you know?
of course. And here's another one. I mean, everybody you meet has massive problems. Just, if you're not going to put your hand out to help them up, don't put your hand out at all.
Yeah.
You know, talking is a wonderful thing, but when you're in a dark place and you're suffering, talking is the hardest thing to do.
Yeah.
Because you're locked away in your own little catacomb of darkness, and you don't want to. The phone is such a bad tool. You can't press it. You don't want to look at it. You don't want to hear it. Going to the toilet is hard.
Yeah.
You know, feeding yourself, opening the curtains,
Yeah.
facing the world. All of that is hard. When somebody turns around and says to you, "Oh, well, you know, just cop yourself on, or just give me a buzz. How about I strangle you?"
Yeah.
You know,
It's when you for that easy, huh?
when you're gasping for breath, going, "Please help me."
Yeah.
That's how I feel when I'm at my lowest.
Yeah.
You know, so if you don't understand it, don't say negative things. Try and understand it. I've had friends who have been very supportive of me. I'm very lucky to be surrounded by the people I'm surrounded by. But I've had some friends who just didn't understand it. This Quinner is off his head again. You know?
So they just go back away.
And they're just like, you know, sort of set out until they were hit with certain things in
Yeah.
their life, and it drove them down. And the first person they contacted was me, and I'm so happy it could happen.
Yeah.
Now they understand it, you know, and I would like nobody to ever understand it. I like everybody to be happy, but unfortunately, we're in a world where mental illness it's rampant.
Yeah.
It's rampant, but be open.
Slowly but surely, though, it's
Be open, man.
hopefully it's changing, you know.
Well, you know what? As long as I'm walking the planet, I'll make sure it's open.
Do your bit.
Yeah, 100%. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
I'm here to talk. Like when people come into me for therapy, it's therapy. The mind and the body will connect. You
Yeah.
have one without the other. So not only do we try and fix injuries, we have conversation. Sometimes people don't have any conversation. Sometimes people's therapy is just they need to talk, get shit off their chest.
Yeah,
What does it feel better? What did you do to me there? Just give me a little massage, let you know.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it is like I look over there because you could just talk shit and forget about what the rest of your day was like and whatever stuff was weighing on you. You can and then when you come out of there, you feel like you're like, this is great. You just go shit out there for a little while. I feel good now, you know.
That's what it's all about. It doesn't. If you get 10 minutes of solace of going, oh man, you know what? Right now I'm okay. That's cool.
Yeah, I get it a lot here. People come in to me and they're here to train, but you get the odd time someone comes in and they just need to fucking decompress from the rest of the day. They just want to spill their guts for 20 minutes.
Yeah, no.
And then they can worry about their training.
But that's okay. But that's a part of your job, I think. If you're a therapist or a PT or whatever you are, or a coach, or a good friend.
You know? Some people will use you just to moan constantly all the time, so you kind of get to know those people quite quick. But most people sometimes they just want to let the rest of their day just spill it all out, and then just relax and go and enjoy their training. And a great chat with the last podcast episode with Paddy Hewlett as well, and that guy, I love listening to that guy talk.
Paddy's a lovely man.
He just absolutely beams positivity, and he had a great chat with me about it. And he was kind of explaining about how good jiu-jitsu is and how he's just there and in his club, and he has all people from different walks of life coming in, and he just knows, you know, people they've all sorts of shit going on, but when they come into the club, you can just see it in their faces once they start rolling, and they just they forget everything else, you know.
Yeah, I'm exactly it.
Yeah.
But there's all our teammates.
Yeah.
Very happy to say, just come down.
Yeah.
When I'm feeling bad, I run away, like, you know, because it's safer for me. Because I get angry and I get sad and I get depressed and I get agitated and I go through this whole emotional spectrum. and I don't know what to do with all these emotions. And I have not only close friends, but teammates who become close friends.
Yeah.
Don't even have to do anything. You just come down. No hard work. Just do a little bit of technique. Before I know it, I'm back in the club.
Yeah, you forget.
And I forget because somebody's trying to strangle me.
Yeah.
But they're smiling at me because they're my friend. They're trying to
There
strangle
you
me.
go. When you're in a bow and arrow, you forget about everything else for temporarily at least. You know?
Especially if Patter's trying to pop your head like this.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the whole point is that if you have a good support base around you, people will look out for you.
Yeah.
You know, and the person that's usually smiling and laughing and joking the most is usually the one that's crying inside.
Yeah.
You got to be open to that, and I mean, go to counselling. I was at my shrink 2 days ago.
Right.
Go to my shrink every couple of months because, as I said, I'm medicated. I'm bipolar, my personality disorder, and all these other things going on. If I don't take my medication, the bad man comes out.
Yeah.
You know, which is not good for anybody, including me, because I'm old. And I have a counsellor to talk to. But I also have a humongous amount of people that I'm lucky to have in my life that I love them and they love me, that I can talk to. I can go, you know what, they might even notice before I do. Are you alright? Yeah, I'm grand. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm grand. And that started to get home. Oh, just come on, we go for a walk, or, you know, where are you, what do we do? Come on down to the gym, have a coffee. Before you know it, I'm like, you know what, thanks, give me over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Little things like that make a fucking difference.
You need somewhere to spill your guts because
You do.
that whole thing, bottling it up, is just it's way too prevalent, and like still in this country, even though like it is improving, but we still like, especially isn't it up like the northwest?
It's really bad. Yeah, northwest is really bad. Certain parts of Cavan are really bad.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're in a town that has nothing but alcohol in it,
Yeah.
and alcohol is one of the biggest depressants in the world.
Yeah.
It's a legalised drug, which is just completely mental.
Yeah.
And I don't care what anybody does, just don't fucking harm me.
Yeah.
But you have to understand, if you're going to drink lots of alcohol, the effects of that is you're going to get depressed out of your fucking mind. And if you have a mental illness, the effects of that alcohol is going to be heightened. You can turn up the fucking depression volume and just go, stick that up to 10, because in the next 2-3 weeks, that alcohol is running around your system.
Yeah, I find that it's the delayed effect. Like I don't suffer too badly with hangovers and stuff, and I don't, like I drink very infrequently these days, and the main reason is, if I have a night out on like a Saturday night, I have to go to something where there's a lot of drink involved. I'm fine and I get through the rest of the weekend, no problem, no major hangover, but my week is affected, my mood is down, my energy levels are down, and it can be pretty grim, like, you know. I don't handle the following week that well.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the hangover, but like mentally, but I'm aware of it and I know what it is, so I can kind of.
Well, if you're prepared for it, because you're aware of it, that's fine.
But for the first couple, like that only started happening a few years ago, like severely. But like for the first couple of years, it was like, oh man, it's bad, and, you know. And now I just I know it, and I'm ready, and I'm just I make a conscious effort to be. Trying to put on being in a better mood, especially when I'm here working. Because I have people in every hour, different people every hour.
Of course.
I cannot be miserable. Do you know what I mean? In work, I have to be. Don't have to be like bright, like happy clown or anything. But I do have to be conversational and, you know, make people feel welcome in the place and chat away to them about stuff. So I know I'm ready and I'm prepared to kind of fake it for a few days. You know.
Yeah. Well, again, once you're prepared for that, you know the consequences of your actions for that moment in time.
Yeah.
When I went back to counselling, that was probably about 10 years ago, the doctor was an Indian doctor, an old guy, he was a lovely man. And he explained to me about drinking. When I was younger, I'd be down in pints and causing mayhem. And as I got older, I drink less and less. I do enjoy a pint of Guinness, lovely, and I like whiskey. But I drink small amounts and I'm happy.
I'm just saying,
But he was able to tell me, because of the way your brain fires, because you're bipolar and your personality disorder, you're affected by that alcohol for 3 weeks. It's not for 3 days. So you get the normal people that will go, okay, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever, we're going out for pints.
The chemical imbalance in your brain is different.
They're all fucked up, and then you get the Wednesday, they start to come around. Thursday, Friday, they're alright, and then you go do it all again, right? I go out for that one night, I'm that fucked up. My Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is actually first week, second week, third week.
Yeah.
And then I start to come back. So and I never realised this until, the main man said down, this is what happens with the chemical imbalance in your brain, and this is what alcohol is going to do to you. And people that have mental illness don't understand this. So when they go on a binge, which a lot of people do in this country, they binge drink, then they want to chop their own fucking heads off for the next month. You don't understand why. No, I only went drinking 2-3 weeks ago. Yeah, well, that's still destroying your brain pattern, your thoughts, you know, of what is normal and what is not normal. You know what I mean?
It's crazy, isn't it?
It's a matter of people should be aware of that.
And it's so normal in today's culture as well.
Of course it is. Of course it is. You know, if people are aware, people are educated, and people are able to talk, it's wonderful. But sometimes you're not able to talk.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you need to hide.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes you need to pretend everything's okay. It's all right to not be all right. When you feel nothing, that's when it's dangerous. It's okay to be angry.
Yeah.
It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be happy. When you feel nothing, it's dangerous.
Yeah. And like the majority of people now that are either watching or listening to this podcast, they all pretty much probably have jiu-jitsu, which is a great outlet for
fantastic.
Just like your stress, your tension, your emotion and stuff. And the biggest part of it is that it's a sociable environment. So when you go down there, you're surrounded by people who are down there in a good mood, and you know, it's just a great distraction. Whether you're going to talk or not, it is a great way of helping you forget about everything else.
100%, yeah.
The majority of people don't even have that. Like there's people out there that don't exercise.
They've alcohol, more alcohol.
And they sit in front of the TV and watch the Champions League, crack open a couple of beers, and then if they're going through something like that, I mean, it's like it's a downward spiral, you know, for a lot of people.
Yeah, I think it's nice to have as many life jackets in your life as you possibly can. And you're thinking, jiu-jitsu for me and martial arts for me is one of them big life jackets, because I'm lucky to be, as I said it probably 10 times already, I'm lucky to be surrounded by really good people who I train with. And they're not just people I train with, they become friends and family.
Yeah, you get that sort of brotherhood that we have.
Well, I use the term brother all the time, and I use it because I mean it.
Yeah.
You don't have to be related to me to be my brother. I want to, once I respect you,
someone who brings something positive to your life and cares about you.
100%, and I have that.
Yeah.
So that gets me through. I mean, every time I go to class, or every time one of the boys or girls rings me and goes, "What's the story? You come to class?" That's somebody going, "You know what? You're okay today."
Yeah.
Somebody cares about you.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful thing.
Positive. Yeah.
People don't have that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm lucky to have it. And other people that train jiu-jitsu, whether they're suffering from mental illness or not, have that.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a fucking great thing.
Absolutely.
That's a fucking great thing. But there was a wonderful thing I think after Neil Seary retired. He did a great interview.
He really did, yeah.
And it was great to see Neil again. I sponsored Neil and worked on his injuries while he was playing in the UFC. He's a character, or he's a lovely fella.
Mad bastard.
He's mental, yeah. That's politically correct. He's fucking mental. But it was really, really good to see him open up.
He did, yeah. It was a side that not many people have really seen.
Yeah. Well, because we know him, he's as hard as a fucking coffin now, man. That is one tough fucker.
Yeah.
And he will fight and keep fighting, and the only way to
the
stop him is
hardest human being I've ever met in my life.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
The unsung hero of Irish MMA.
Yeah.
I mean, just phenomenal. Raising a family, working a job, teaching and training in the UFC. You know what I mean? Phenomenal. And then just to see him be so vulnerable to say, "This is how I feel." There's one of the hardest motherfuckers walking the streets of this city, this country.
Yeah.
And just go, "This is how I feel." And it's like, wow.
Yeah, that was a side. He brought that out, and it was like, well, it was quite. Took a step back.
It was amazing for me, because there's a guy that I thought would never be able to open up. I never knew he was suffering in certain aspects of his life, and he was able to go, "This," and I'm telling you, it's this because I want to help other people.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it was a ballsy move.
It was great. Showed him as a real human being, how soft and sensitive he is. Soft and sensitive. He's going to punch the head out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, look, it's Mental Health Awareness Week or whatever.
Yeah, today mental health health awareness day.
Yeah, every day is Mental Health Awareness Day.
Yeah.
Every fucking day. Yeah. And whether it's your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, your friend, whatever, your neighbour, smile, man.
We all either have been, or we're all fairly close to someone who's been through the thick and thin. And sometimes not come out the other side, and some just barely, you know. So it's important to have days like that where people. It was great to see such an outpouring today on social media of people talking about it and stuff.
It's great, and it's fantastic that it's highlighted. I mean, look, mental illness is killing fuckers all over the place.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and if people hadn't killed themselves, they're looking to kill other people.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Families are being destroyed.
Oh yeah.
Children are being left with no parents. All this kind of horrible, nasty shit. And it's just got people. If people are open,
Yeah.
we can cut that shit down. You know?
Yeah.
Just be open. Just talk.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Call me. Come up. Bring jellies.
We always bring
jellies,
jellies when we go.
Bring
When you
jellies.
get injured, if you ever get injured and you go Twitter, bring some fucking Haribo.
Bring
or
some
come at you at the
Haribo,
door.
man.
Bring
And
a coffee and a Haribo.
yeah,
Haribo.
and just come up and fucking. I'm always there to have
Yeah.
a conversation with, man. Yeah.
Yeah,
And if you want me, you
well
can stick
done.
me elbow in your spine and then crack your back. Yeah.
Tell people where they can find information about your clinic and where they can get in contact with you.
No, I'm telling you, it's nothing. I hate this all. You'll find me on Facebook and Instagram, so it's lifespiral.eoquinn, Life Spiral Physical Therapy, clinic in Glasnevin, Industrial Estate. Team Rhino, I work out Team Rhino, and I work out with a few other MMA schools as well, but mostly the one I train in, and also Animal Barbell Gym. So just give me a shout, and if you need any help, I'm there, no problem.
Sweet. And what we'll do, guys, is if you're following us on Facebook, you can follow the Breaking Grips Facebook page and also the Road Media Facebook page and YouTube channels. So we're going to have loads of cool content on there. You'll find all our podcasts and stuff on there, all the recent ones video. This will also be out on audio on the likes of Spotify and Stitcher soon enough as well. Yeah, great having a chat, man. And I really enjoyed that. And we'll be back again very soon with the next episode, okay? Take care.
What's the parish?
Where are we? Find out.